Peace. What's the word? What's happening, everybody? Hopefully, everybody got an hour or so to tap in with the kid. This gonna be a short, brief, quick, yet powerful build. I just want to address this situation because of some things I'm seeing online. Might get into rare form on this one. Y'all already know how that energy can go. But I'm gonna give y'all about 3 to 5 minutes to tap in with the kid. Let me know how y'all living and feeling on this wonderful Saturday, man. Hopefully everything is peaceful with you all, being productive, focusing on your health, getting things done. But I'm gonna let y'all tap in with me about 3 to 5 minutes before I start elaborating on this subject matter. Real simple. Y'all pretty much already know the direction I'm going to go when it comes to this particular subject matter, man. But I know a lot of people kind of value the words that I speak when it comes to things like this, man. So I'm gonna tap in with y'all. I owe y'all this one. I owe y'all this one for sure. 808. And it probably was some black people probably that got mad at you for that, which is the funny part. Those are the people I want to address. The black people that's getting mad. The black people that's out here making those sorrowful posts. Though that's who I'm targeting with this particular conversation. I expect the white folks to be mad about that, but the black folks, nah. I'm talking specifically to my people when it comes to having sympathy for this guy. We got to stop that straight up. And when I tell people to not have sympathy, that don't mean that don't mean we walking around with a bunch of hate, just indifference. Really don't care, it's straight just like that. Hey, Clutch, Tony, Lindell, Terenzo, peace. What's happening? When George Floyd was killed, he was out here talking about it was a drug overdose, even though that didn't correlate with the autopsy results. So he didn't too much show sympathy for George Floyd and George Floyd's family. So why we gotta have sympathy for him? Why we gotta have or make long sorrowful posts for him? Nah, I'm good. Sylvetta, peace, what's happening? Jason, peace, what's happening? I kept it simple. Like I'm not one of the ones like when they talk about celebrating the death, like I don't necessarily do that. Elijah, that was addressed the opening minute. It's caring about the response from my people. I said I don't have sympathy for what happened to dude, but I do care about the response from my people. And that's who I'm addressing. So I don't live by the if you don't have nothing nice to say, don't say anything at all. I live by say what's on your mind. Let me know how you truly feel, which is one thing I could respect about dude. He let us know how he truly felt. I don't have a problem with that. So this is not the arena for if you don't have anything nice to say, don't say it at all. I always speak my mind. I deal with realism and I let people express themselves. Like that's how I operate. So everything is not nice. Like everything that's said is not going to be nice. So I don't do that. If you don't have anything nice to say, don't say it at all. Like, nah. Life is not all the way nice, So you got something to say and it's not necessarily nice, say that too. The truth is not necessarily nice. Facts are not necessarily nice. It's just the truth and they are facts. And that's how we build. Cases and Cam, you say, what is your reaction to people celebrating his death? Like I said, I don't celebrate death in no way, shape, or form. I don't celebrate it. That's not my personal aura. That's not how I move. Like, that's not my personality to like be excited that somebody was killed, no matter if I like them or not. You know, that's not how I operate. But at the same time, I'm not going to express fake sympathy and act like I care about something or somebody's death that I don't care about. Elijah, it's not un-American to kill somebody solely for sharing his opinion. That's very American. Matter of fact, that's one of the most American things one can do is kill somebody solely for sharing their opinion. That's very American. That's very American. People sharing their opinions have gotten them killed plenty of times. That's very American. It's very American, which is why they present us with this illusion of speech. But again, you saying made in God's image and all of that stuff, man, that's we have a difference of opinion when it comes to the stuff you are talking about. But killing somebody for what they said or sharing their opinion is definitely American, though. Definitely American. Like, and that's just a fact. And that's what I'm saying. It's on, like, when I didn't see some post statuses and all that good stuff. And this is like stuff that we've been going through, stuff that we've been experiencing. So like this, the stuff like that, when it happens to us, it don't even shock us because we so used to it happening. You know, we so used to our people standing up for some and then getting assassinated that like this is like normal activity. It's when it starts happening to other groups that everybody be like, oh, that's un-American. Like, nah, that's been American for the black reality. You know, anytime a black man has stood up to the status quo, this has happened. Something like this has happened. And I made a Facebook post, and I'm gonna read that post. Well, I posted it on the community joint, but I'm gonna read that verbatim. I'm gonna read it verbatim. Just so y'all can hear me verbally read this joint, you know. So let me tap in, let me find it. Like, this is what I said, man. This is exactly how I felt then, and this is how I feel now. But I'm gonna read this post that I made. I said, I'm just gonna say this. I have literally seen countless of times young black youth get killed unjustly, and I read the comments on social media of folks mocking their unjust killing. He shouldn't have had that hoodie on. He should have just complied. He shouldn't have been playing with that toy gun. And don't even get me started on the actual jokes I would see. I will never make a joke about anyone dying or getting killed, but I also won't act like I care or have sympathy when I don't. I don't cry at family members' funerals or when they pass, so I damn sure don't be having sympathy for folks I don't know who I know wouldn't care if something happened to me. Hell, I'm sure he wouldn't want me to have much sympathy either, but that's just me. I'm sure dude understood, and this is the key part, that I'm sure dude understood and accepted the risks that were involved with having his message. He knew every time he was out in public, there was the possibility that could happen. He knew people hated his guts. He signed up for what he signed up for. Is it right? Probably not. But when has life, especially in America, ever been fair or right? That's everyday life for us brothers that have knowledge of self and choose not to conform. Like, those were my sentiments at the time. Those are my sentiments now. Again, I'm not throwing a party. I only made one post on it. And the only reason I'm making this video is because people have asked me my thoughts on the subject matter, which, to Elijah's point, when you on social media, when you're on these platforms, sometimes you give the people what they want. People wanted to know where I stand on this. So here I am. I'm really not even about to get on here and actually bash dude. You know, go in on a lot of his rhetoric and the things I disagree with him on. I'm not even going to do that. My thing is, I saw too many black people expressing a lot of sympathy and making sorrowful posts when I haven't seen them do that for things that have happened within our own communities. So as always, when stuff starts to happen to other people, that I see that the kumbaya mentality starts to manifest itself amongst our people, man. And that's what I'm not necessarily too fond of. That's what I'm not too fond of. I saw a lot of that. And I'm like, man, we gotta stop. we gotta stop doing that. You know, I was seeing people, man, that ain't never acknowledged Malcolm X, Marcus Garvey, never acknowledged some of our powerful leaders and ancestors that we've had over the years on a post. Acknowledge this dude, taking up for him. Like, what? we not gonna do that. We not gonna do that, or we need to stop doing that. But hold on, let me see. I had some comments, man. Y'all got some comments going. And now, and Elijah, that, like I say, man, everybody can have their own opinion. I don't really don't phase me. But sorrow, man, when we look up the definition of sorrow, that's why I say, hey, if it's natural for you to have that sorrow for another person, be my guest. But when I look up the word sorrow, I mean, we know what it means, but I'm gonna read the definition verbatim: a feeling of deep distress caused by loss, disappointment, or other misfortune suffered by oneself or others. Synonymous to sadness. It's not how I felt when what happened to do. So I would be lying if I got on here and made some type of post like that. Like, that's just not how I felt. It's just not how I felt. I didn't feel sorrow. I didn't feel pity. I didn't feel sad. I also, you know, I'm not happy. I'm not excited. I'm not joyful, but I'm definitely not sorrowful. Definitely not that. Definitely not sorrowful. Like I said, if that's in your natural disposition to feel that way, I can't be mad at it. But I save that energy for stuff that's a little near and dear to me. Now, again, is what happened to him right or wrong? That's really beside the point. My thing is understanding risk. Malcolm X had said something back when he was alive. He was like, he lived like a man that's already dead. He already knew that what he was out here talking about and what he stood for would essentially lead to what happened to him. He already knew it. So he understood, he understood and accepted the risk that came with having the message that he had, with standing on the principles that he stood on. He understood and accepted that. And a lot of my ancestors that came before me had the same type of mentality. When you stand for certain things, that's why I said this has been the Black experience. I saw all these white people getting upset, like, oh, you shouldn't get killed over one's opinion. That's been happening to us. It's been happening. That's been the Black reality. To where when we have an unfavorable opinion, we lose our lives. We get assassinated. That's been the Black reality. Welcome to the world through the Black lens. Freedom of speech. Please tell me when that ever applied to us. And freedom of speech to me is an illusion, bro. It's an illusion. It doesn't exist to me. It doesn't exist to me. Freedom of speech is an illusion. And then even hypothetically, if freedom of speech existed here in America, freedom of speech doesn't mean no consequences behind your words. So even if you believe freedom of speech exists, that doesn't eliminate consequences behind what you say. So you can give somebody freedom of speech, but there will always be consequences behind one's words. There will always be consequences behind what you say. Always. That's a universal law. So I don't care what an amendment says. I don't care what the Bill of Rights say. I don't care what any law says. That's not related to the universal law. We know about attraction. We know about reciprocity. We know about all these universal laws. There are consequences behind your words, behind your actions, behind your thoughts. And you can't escape that. So when you have a certain message, best believe certain things can happen to you. You just have to accept it. And I'm pretty sure he did. I'm pretty sure he accepted that. Pretty sure he accepted that. So if he was cool with it, oh yeah, Jay, man, the missing children is crazy, you know, and they they don't be in an uproar about that at all. At all. Tasting for sure. Your words have consequences, man, always. So again, that's why freedom of speech, that's why I don't necessarily subscribe to that, man. It's no such thing. There have always been stipulations behind what we can say, especially us. You know how much stuff on this internet is censored? I'm telling you, YouTube looked a lot different 15 years ago, 12 years ago. There was a lot more information and content that was online, especially on YouTube, that you can't even post it nowadays. It gets eliminated. Y'all know back when COVID was going on, how many times I had videos get deleted because of medical misinformation. We got freedom of speech, but I can't tell somebody to take olive leaf extract instead of getting a vaccine without my video getting deleted. How do we have freedom of speech? How is that freedom of speech? People can't make informed decisions because you blocking one side, but you gonna tell me we have freedom of speech? No, we do not. No, we do not at all. Anytime you go against the status quo, anytime you say something that is not in alignment with the status quo, you get censored. That is not freedom of speech. But they do it so smooth, like they eliminate all the remnants of the opposing side to where it looks as if they're not doing that. But we know they're doing that, man. I done had too many videos get deleted. And I wasn't even out here saying a bunch of crazy stuff, like seriously, crazy, and that's subjective. But I literally was out here, several videos, I literally was out here recommending herbs for people to take. I was giving people alternatives to the vaccine, and my video was getting deleted. Those videos have been deleted. And every time I try to put them back up, don't make it. But you gonna tell me here in America, we have freedom of speech. So I don't want to hear anything about these amendments, man. Amos Wilson wrote in a book. He was like, man, the laws are only as strong as the people who enforce them. So the laws are only as strong as the enforcers. The laws are only as strong and powerful as those that enforce them. So when you start talking about freedom of speech, you got to keep in mind who created these amendments and who are the ones that are enforcing them. We gotta know and understand that. First of all, when all of these amendments and these rights and things were created, what was the condition of Black people? We already know that these amendments and these rights were not created with Black folks in mind, even the ones that appear to benefit us. Like we gotta really think about these things, man. We gotta really think about all of that, man. They don't like it. They don't like it at all, man. And I've been a victim of them not liking stuff, you know. And I'm on a low level. Man. I didn't pages deleted, all type of stuff, man. On low level. So imagine on a higher level. You know, imagine you on a higher level saying them things that they don't like. Well, we don't have to imagine, we've seen it. We don't have to imagine, it has happened at every level, man. You know what I'm saying? It didn't happen. COINTELPRO. You know, what's the whole purpose? Why was COINTELPRO even created? Why did J. Edgar Hoover create COINTELPRO, man? That was to infiltrate and take down the Black organizations. They had to create the counterintelligence program to infiltrate and take down Black organizations that were only responding to the racism and oppression that was happening to us. We were literally creating these groups to protect ourselves and our families, and they had to create a counterintelligence program to take that down. We wasn't out here causing harm. So that's what I'm saying. Like, this has been the Black experience, man. We can't even come together and get knowledge of self without them infiltrating it. And y'all saw the post when they took down our great brother Fred Hampton. Them cops, they were smiling. They were smiling. They were happy. Got him. Like, they were on that type of time. That's what we've had to deal with. And please don't, like, I didn't even want to bombard you all with the picture evidence of when they used to lynch us back in the day, and they used to put it on the postage stamps. You know what I mean? Like, we had our people that had to go through that. We getting lynched, we getting hung, we getting burned, and it's on postage stamps. Like, when you mail off a letter, a black man being hung, being burned is on a stamp. That's what our people didn't have to. That's what we didn't have to endure. It's on a postage stamp. Like, everybody, thousands of people lined up to see this black man get hung, and he didn't even do what they said he did. So excuse me if I'm lacking some sympathy for this type of situation, man. Shantae, peace, what's happening? So excuse me if I lack sympathy, man. I'm still sorting through all the stuff that I have to keep seeing that happen to my people, that they didn't even sign up for. You know what I mean? Like, the difference is, buddy, you signed up to have that perspective that you had. You signed up to believe what you believe. Our people was just thrown into it, born into it. Color of our skin, man. Pigmentation. We getting slaughtered, we getting hung, we getting burned, we getting castrated simply because of how we look. Not even because of what we may believe. We might have even agreed with some of these white folks. We still getting hung. So that's the history that we come from. That's the history that we come from. And I seen something. I'm about to read another post, man, that I had to respond to. I think a white person had wrote it, man. I seen the post. Let me see if I can find it. I know I posted it on Facebook, man. Let me go back. Yeah, somebody posted this, man. I think it's a white dude, and I shared it and had my comment. He's like, if you believe people deserve to be shot for their opinions, don't cry when you get fired for yours. Man, that's boy, these white people funny. Like, I'm gonna read this again. If you believe people deserve to be shot for their opinions, don't cry when you get fired for yours. I don't even know where to begin when it comes to dissecting this statement. If you believe people deserve to be shot for their opinions, don't cry when you get fired for yours. Speaking about all the folks that are getting fired for speaking on this situation, like talking, I guess, praising what happened. And it's a lot of people losing their jobs, right? And this dude made that. And I'm like, yo, first of all, once again, see, since white folks are not in black skin, they don't be knowing a lot of things that we have to deal with on a day-to-day basis. Listen, getting fired for our opinions is the least of all. We have been getting denied opportunities. We sometimes don't even get the chance to get fired for our opinions because we don't even get the opportunity because of how we look. We didn't been getting denied opportunities based on our pigmentation for a very long time. We couldn't cry over that. We can't cry over that. We continue to have to make things happen, considering all the things that have been happening to us over centuries. So if you believe people deserve to be shot for their opinions, don't cry when you get fired for yours. Man, come on. We didn't been fired for less. We didn't been fired for less. I don't know about you all's corporate experiences, but man, I done been discriminated against for less than my opinion. I done been denied opportunities for less, and I didn't cry about it. Guess what? I made things happen because that's what we have to do. Unfortunately, when you original, it comes with it, especially when you stand for something and you got knowledge of yourself and you conduct yourself a certain type of way. I'm used to getting denied opportunities. We can't cry about it because what is that gonna do? You know what I'm saying? Like it's crazy because our ancestors literally, you denied them the right to learn how to read, denied them education, gave them the bottom of the barrel when it come to everything. Then one day you allegedly freed them, threw them out there in society, in a society that you constructed and you created. You created the rules, you created everything to this society, and you prevented this group of people from learning anything about this society. Then one day you say, all right, y'all, go out there and make something happen, knowing good and well they're gonna have to come back. And then you make it look like it's some type of defect with this group of people because they can't make things happen in a society that you constructed and created, and then allow them to learn the rules to the society and the game. You just throw them out there. All right, y'all, go make something happen. Y'all free to go do whatever y'all want to do now. After I enslaved and oppressed you for years, took away your ability to learn anything, took your, as they would say, soul from you. And now I'm like, all right, go make something happen. Now we got indentured servitude and things like that because you know we're going to have to come back to you. We don't know what's going on out here. We don't know what's happening. You ain't allow us to learn nothing. Learn anything. All right, now go fend for yourself. Then we got to come back. Y'all lazy. Y'all don't want to work. Y'all stupid. Call us stupid. First of all, you took us from our native language. Didn't allow us, didn't want, if we got caught learning this language, mastering this language, reading, you might have gotten killed, beaten, all that type of stuff. So you didn't want us to master your language. Then you throw us out there and then boom. Want to make it look like it's our fault when we can't make anything happen in a fast and efficient manner. Like it's a defect on us. Crazy. That's the world we live in. So we done been forced to deal with this for centuries. So getting fired for one's opinion, like, nah. Come on, man. That's the last thing we worried about. That's the last thing we worried about. Like I said, I done been in plenty of positions to where I wasn't even able to get put in that position to get fired. I wish sometimes I was able to get put in that corporate position to get fired for my opinion. I ain't even made it that far. I had to go do my own thing and take my own path because of the opportunities that I was getting denied. Oh, Emmanuel, you say you I thought Charlie Kirk and the Republican Party were the party of free speech and no cancel culture. Funny. You know what I mean? Funny. Because again, like I say, y'all know I don't have any type of party affiliation. I don't associate with no side, you know. But yeah, you start seeing hypocrisy. You see the hypocrisy on both sides, you know. But yeah, most definitely, when things like this happen, you start to see the hypocrisy on that side. But y'all know I don't associate with any of them sides. You know, they all full of pawns. And behind closed doors, they all get along. Y'all know how I feel about it as wrestling. You know, if black people want to get back on the throne, especially here in America, man, we can't be affiliating or associating with any of those parties. It makes zero sense. But that's another thing. You know, we just so behind when it comes to stuff like that, man. And that's the stuff when I step back and I start examining things, that's when I'm like, just when I thought we are making progress, man, it's like when I start seeing people continue to associate with these parties, I'm like, nope, yep, we still got a long way to go. We still got a long way to go. Like, I'm not about to identify with something, first of all, that wasn't created by us. You know, I'm not about to do it. And then especially that was created by people who didn't have our best interests in mind. So why would I associate myself, Democrat or Republican Party? Why? As a black person, why would I do that? Like, why would I do that? It doesn't make any sense. You know, yet we still got this happening. And when this situation happened, I started seeing all them black people just happy to be Democrats or happy to associate themselves with the Democratic Party. You know what I mean? Like, again, and here's the like, I don't necessarily agree with a lot of what dude was saying, but he did the Charlie Kirk guy. But he has some stuff that I'm like, if I'm being objective, he has some areas where I can agree. See, I remove emotions from things. I remove emotions, and I can listen to certain things a person is saying, like, and I can say, okay, I disagree with that, but I can agree with you here. So I didn't necessarily disagree with everything he said. I didn't disagree with everything he said. Of course, when he started talking about, race relations, and when he started talking about black people, I'm off the wood like, nah, he was misinformed for sure. But I say that to say I do that with everybody and everything. But for the most part, I didn't rock with none of what dude was. I didn't rock with most of what he was on. Like, I'm gonna say, when they start talking, when they, because they all hold that thought. When they start talking about gender and stuff like that, I can be in agreement with people on that side. When they start talking about that, I can be in agreement with them on that. For the most part, from what I hear a lot of them say, I don't necessarily disagree with that part. But like I say, when they start talking about race and all that, count me out of the conversation. But it's certain parts, if I'm being objective, I'm like, all right, bet. But I'm never rocking with them. I never rock with them people fully. Y'all already know. Y'all know that much. You know what I'm saying? I ain't gonna never rock with them fully. But if I'm just hearing something, and it ain't even just him, it's most of the people on that side, the Republican side, most of the people on that side, what they subscribe to. So it ain't even about dude per se. It's what most people on the Republican side fight for, vouch for, whatever. They do have some points that I agree with on that side. So anybody can consider themselves to be Republican. So I'm not necessarily talking about Kirk. He held Republican views for the most part. But like I said, I don't associate and affiliate with any of those things. But I can take both sides, hear what they saying, and I can be objective in regards to what I agree with over here, what I disagree with over there, and all that. God, if you already know. Yeah, Tony, neither party, they never been for us. And I saw something that dude was saying when they was calling dude racist, and the first thing he said, this is Kirk, the first thing he said was like, how can I be racist and my communications director or something is black? And the white lady was like, that's the first thing a racist says. And I was like, boy, his whole argument for him not being racist is because of hiring black people. Well, that's always funny to me. That was I saw a clip when he said that. How can I be racist? My communications director is black. I say, boy, employing black people, even trying to mask things under the title of philanthropy, doesn't make you non-racist, family. So I'm like, and then I just went down a rabbit hole trying to watch some of these debates with dude, and I'm like, man, he was picking the right people to debate with. I'll tell you that much. When it came to certain subjects, especially when it came to subjects on race, I'm like, man, who are these? I mean, he went to college campuses and whatnot, but I'm like, man, he was debating the right people. I'm gonna say that much to make himself look like he knew what he was talking about. Because he said something. Now, this was something he said, but I wish I could have been around to debate that one. He said something along the lines of, he was talking about, what was it, single parent households. And he said something along the lines of like 80% of black households don't have a father present. First of all, that percentage false. And then he was like, it's cultural. It's culturally accepted for black fathers to not be present in the household. Like, that's our culture. And I'm like, what? I'm like, hold up. Who are the original deadbeats? That would be people that look like Mr. Charlie Kirk. Crazy. Who was raping our women, impregnating them, and then when the children were born, never claiming them. Who was doing that? Who was doing that? Who, like, please tell me who was doing that. Who was raping our women? Raping them. And not even doing it once. Having several children. Having several children with our sisters. Never claiming the children. Who was doing that? Who was doing that at a high level? Last time I checked, that was them white folks, which some of them call founding fathers. But that was in our culture? What? That's why I was like, yeah, buddy debating the right people. I say, buddy was debating the right people. Like, the deadbeat culture definitely stems from white men. That's a historical fact. You study history, you will see that deadbeat culture that is associated with white men first. White men, like, this is where the feminist movement came from. White men have never cared for their women. Never. Never. Like, the feminist ideology at its roots, especially here in America, stems from white women feeling mistreated. Because them white dudes ain't never care about their women. Never. So they was like, man, we gotta fight against this feminism. That wasn't no black creation, man. We've always dealt with the true holy trinity, man, woman, and child. We've always included the woman. We've always put the woman on that pedestal, right on that throne, right with us. We've always dealt in equality when it comes to the woman, historically speaking, before we were corrupted. Now, of course, you're gonna have exceptions to the rule, but for the most part, man, we've always done right by our women, you know, and we've always had societies, again, before any corruption made its way into our culture, like, we've always understood our roles amongst each other, which they trying to, you know, get rid of that and make you feel bad if you start talking about roles, gender roles, things like that. But for the most part, historically speaking, when you start studying all of our cultures, man, we understood roles and we respected the roles. So we were never out here doing that type of stuff to our women, man, to where they felt like they had to create a whole movement. Nah. Like, emphatically no. Elijah, if you say, if we are rightfully outraged when black people are murdered, shouldn't that same outrage apply when it happens to anyone? Elijah, I have an unfavorable opinion. You're not going to like it, but my answer is no. First of all, it's not realistic to even believe that's possible. Because why? Everything hits closer or hits harder when it's closer to home. That's just a fact. That's a fact. That's just a fact. That's a fact. Everything hits harder when it's closer to home. Like, I'm in this, y'all know I'm in school right now for, you know, counseling, things like that. And man, I'm literally like reading about that. Like, people talk about racism and stuff like that being learned behavior. But man, that might not necessarily be true. And I'm not even going to, let me eliminate the word racism, right? Just favoring somebody who looks like you. This stuff is embedded in us, man. Like, I'm reading about studies of children and how they're talking about children prefer, like babies, infants, prefer same race faces. You know what I'm saying? Like, they prefer to look at people that look like them in infancy before they even hit 1 year of age, man. Like I'm studying stuff like that, man. So it's just natural for you to connect with, gravitate towards people who look like you, first and foremost. So again, what people don't understand is when we say, okay, we outraged and we sorrowful for stuff like that when it happens in the black community. That don't mean we gotta stop dealing in extremes. If I'm saying I'm sorrowful, I'm outraged when stuff happens to black people, that don't necessarily mean I'm dealing with hate when it comes to stuff like this that happens to other people. I might just simply not care. Not caring is not the same thing as hate. Hate requires a lot of energy, fam. Just indifferent. I just don't care. Like I'm not about to be sad about it. That's it. So we got to stop dealing in two extremes, man. Like if I say I'm race first, which I've always said, that don't mean I hate every other race. It just means I'm prioritizing my people. So my emotions, my emotional connection is higher when it comes to my people. I'm more emotionally invested when it comes to my people. So if I'm more emotionally invested when it comes to my people, best believe anything that happens to my people, you're going to get a more powerful emotional response versus other people. I'm not emotionally invested in the white communities, in the Asian communities. I'm just not. So when things happen in those communities, it doesn't really faze me emotionally. There are certain things that will happen in my community that I'm not fazed by. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, nah, I'm just not fazed by things in other communities because I'm not emotionally invested. And that's just what that is. Now, again, if that's your disposition to be emotionally invested with all of humanity, don't let me tell you wrong. I'm not going to do that. I'm just not. And I never will be. You know, and it's just that simple to me. Like, so I don't think, especially when you talking to somebody somebody of my caliber, it's not realistic to think I'm about to be as outraged when something happens to somebody who doesn't look like me. Now, again, does that mean I'm like, hey, hooray? No. That just means I'm just not outraged. Like I'm not emotionally invested. Like at all. But that don't mean I'm sitting around here praying for the death of all these other groups of people. I'm not doing that either. I'm literally emotionally invested in my people, the elevation, the success of my people. Like that's my concern, or my people. That's why when things like this happen, I'm more concerned with the response from my people. Or if the response is coming from the other side and it's stuff that's detrimental to my people, then I'm going to address that. Like the post that I've addressed that really don't make much sense to me coming from the other side. Oh, God, is for sure, man. Feminism, black women collectively fell for the okie doke when it comes to and when it came to feminism. They definitely fell for that okie doke and continue to fall for that okie doke to the point where I've heard several people tell me that feminism was created by black women. Like black women started feminism. And I'm like, what part of history are you getting that from? Like people got to understand, especially the sisters, man. I've had this conversation, right? Feminism is divisive. It's divisive. When you look at the black struggle, notice what I just said. The black struggle. I didn't say the black man struggle. I said the black struggle. The black struggle has always included black men, black women, black children. It has been the black struggle. Why do you need to branch off from that and make it a black women's struggle. Man, we've always been in this struggle together. So when I'm fighting for myself, I'm fighting for the sisters. When I'm fighting for myself, it's the black struggle. I'm fighting for the black struggle. Now that's just me. I don't know about these other brothers, but I'm fighting for the black struggle. It's a black struggle. I'm looking at it from a collective standpoint. If I get in a better position, the sister gets in a better position. Vice versa. Vice versa. You know what I'm saying? The black family wins. That's what we on. We always been for the black family. You know, when I'm studying my great ancestors and elders, they write about the black family. Black family, again, man, woman, child. That's always been at the root of our fight and our struggle. Soon as the sisters stepped out and made it about themselves, like that's when it became a problem. And that's literally what happened. When they let these white women convince them that they were being mistreated, all that type of jazz, black women had to step out and make this thing about themselves when it has always been the black struggle. Always. We have always been fighting for, I don't even like to say the rights because that I just don't like to say that, but we have always been fighting for that. For all of us. But them white women, they convinced the sisters, man. Sisters like, oh, now we gotta make this about us. Feminism. Like, man, y'all like miss me with that, man. Feminism is so unnecessary. And like I said, it's divisive. Man, it's just it was something that black women bought into. Another thing to just keep the black man, black woman divided. Because it, like I said, it's always been the black struggle, man. We've always been fighting this thing, fighting this war together. Right, God, is that exactly? But you know, let them white women tell them they were. It's crazy. We like literally never oppressed our women. Literally, like literally. Like we when you start studying our society, we ain't never had no point to where our women had to sit there and fight for some rights. Like what? Hey, you ain't never find that amongst, you know, our cultures, our indigenous cultures. They ain't never find that. Like I said, man, we identify roles. We say, okay, boom, it's your role over here, your role over here. Teamwork make the dream work. You know, y'all focus on this, we focus on that. These white women start dissecting those things. Oh, they making y'all focus on that because y'all win. Why can't y'all do the stuff over here? And that's when the problem started. That's when the problem started. When they start convincing black women, oh, y'all should be able to do the 2 or 3 things over there that they doing. They got y'all doing this. Unnecessary. Unnecessary. When you been a part of team sports, anything team related, you delegate tasks based on abilities. Me saying that you better at this is not necessarily me saying you can't do this, but you better suited over here. We trying to create a thriving environment. We trying to create a successful team. So I'm going to say, okay, collectively, y'all strengths are X, Y, and Z. So we going to have y'all engage in those tasks. Ain't no reason for y'all to be doing A, B, and C. Y'all probably can do it, but y'all better suited over here, just like we don't have no business trying to do X, Y, and Z. If we want this thing to prosper and thrive, we going to take y'all collectively and place y'all where y'all strengths are at. Then we going to go where our strengths are at. And then we going to come back in the middle and boom, we going to create a thriving society, thriving culture. That's what our people did. That's how we operated. Then they start trying to make you say, man, y'all should be able to do the stuff on that side. Come on, man. Just unnecessary, man. Unnecessary conflict. It leads to a lot of unnecessary conversations, man. And now you have situation after situation where women that had that type of mentality just trying to prove that they could do something that a man can do. And it's like, do you want a cookie for that? Like, if y'all, like, I'm gonna ask my men this question. Like, have y'all been, I'm sure y'all been in that situation to where it's like you was, whether you was dealing with a woman or you was just having a conversation with a woman or you worked with a woman, and she was just gung-ho about just trying to prove that she can do things that men can do. It's like, at the end of the day, what do you want from that? Like, do you really want a cookie? It's ego. But yet they will say we suffer from that ego. They will talk about the male ego as if they never have an ego. You never hear women talk about the woman's ego. And that ego today is killing them. They will blow their back out trying to prove they can lift something that a dude can lift with one arm. You know, like, again, you was able to pick up this 100-pound box. What do you want? Do you want a cookie? Like, we don't care. I can pick up that 100-pound box way easier than you can. But if you want to struggle picking up the 100-pound box, dislocate your back, and then it take longer for that box to get from point A to point B, go ahead. Don't let me stop you. Going right ahead. I can take that box, get it from point A to point B way faster than you. But if you want to just prove you can lift the box and get it to point A to point B, and it's going to make this process slower, be my guest. I don't know what you're going to gain from that other than that ego gratification. But I'm pretty sure my brothers have been in those situations to where it's like a woman really trying to prove that they can do things that a man can do. And I'm like, I'm not gonna say I don't understand it. I know why that exists, but it's like, again, I don't think the women that do that understand that really does nothing. Like, it really doesn't do anything. Like, when you show a man you can do something that a man is known to do, like, that's really not the flex that some of y'all be thinking that it is. Like, it's really not, you know. So I don't know if y'all know that, but I'm here to tell y'all that. And I know a lot of brothers possess the same exact sentiments. It really is not that much of a flex. Oh yeah, got it, man. Hey, the divisiveness is real, you know. And again, that's American right there. Division. That's another thing that's American. We talk about what's un-American and what's American. Division is American for sure. Divide and conquer. That's the main thing that got us in the state that we are in. Divide and conquer. It's hard for us to come together and agree on anything. That's why when it comes to things that separate us, man, that's why I don't affiliate with any political party, man. It's division. It's division, man. I don't need to. It's division. And even you know, and y'all know how I feel about, you know, religion and things like that. And I even saw dude Kirk, what they call him, Captain Kirk. You know, I saw some conversations he was having. I saw some conversations he was having on the religious end. And you know, that's one thing. I would never argue with him about. Because you supposed to be like you a white man in America. You supposed to be Christian. You know what I'm saying? That's your. They remixed a lot of our ideologies, created Christianity, gave you the white version. So that's your religion. So you believing in what you supposed to believe in. I don't like black people that associate with that label. And y'all know that though. So I don't even need to say that. But when you start talking about you black Christian, black Catholic, and all of that, like, those are the people, like, man, we gotta chill. Identify with something on the black end, man. Like, we still identifying with things our oppressor gave to us, the version that our oppressor gave to us. Like, we still on that. We still identifying with those things. Like, we gotta do away with all of that, man, if we striving to reach a certain position. We gotta do away with it. But I'm never going to argue with a white male about his Christian stance, because you supposed to believe in that as a white dude. Like, you know what I'm saying? They remixed it, whitewashed it, and that's yours. You know, that's yours. You can have it, boss. You can have it, boss. Say, don't white folk, you can have Christianity, boss. You can have it. So, like I say, I chop it up with my brothers and sisters that identify with those titles and labels, man. And it's not even the conversation. Now, it used to be hostile, but man, now I try to have a more educational conversation with folks on that end. Like, for real, we got to do better with identifying with certain things, man. Because we start to look silly. You know, you got to think about it, man. You don't see how many white folks you see talking about they about to become a 5%. Now we got we got a few instances to where that has tried to happen, but you ain't seen a large portion of the white population trying to get down, trying to be 5%, getting mad because they can't be in the Nation of Islam. You know what I'm saying? Comedic sciences. Like, you ain't seeing that. We be the only ones trying to really place ourselves in other groups, other belief systems. Nobody else be doing that. All other group of people be doing that. Every other group of people, they subscribe to the spiritual system or the belief system that's connected to them, connected to their culture. We are the only ones that do not do that. We try to go to other cultures and identify with their spiritual systems and belief systems. Like straight up, man. I'm not like, again, you don't see these other coaches really mad that they can't be part of the whatever we got going on. But yeah, we gotta jump over there in all their belief systems and identify with them. And we going to their churches and it's like, come on, we gotta stop that. That's one thing for sure. That's one place where I add to the division, because we gotta stop that. I'm gonna be divided on that, because we just gotta stop that. Straight up, man. We ain't gonna prosper collectively if we don't stop that nonsense. It's nonsense, man. You black going to these mega churches with these white evangelists, that's just wrong, fam. Like, I just don't even care. Like, call me what you want to call me. That's just wrong. That's just not in alignment with your true nature. You just shouldn't be doing that. Like, that's setting us back. It's setting us back, man. Hey, Jabbar, man. Hey, I've accepted, because some of my favorite scholars, very underrated. Like, a lot of people know the Malcolm X's, man. You know, even MLK, Huey Newton now, man. But not too many people know Amos Wilson. You know, only the real ones know, you know, Dr. Ben and John Henry Clark. Those are the people who I associate with. And that's just how it is, man. Like, I have been pushing the stuff that I've been pushing for a very long time, to the point where I've had pages get deleted and stuff like that, man. I even had to toot my own horn, as they say, and I normally don't even do that, but I had to do that on Facebook. As far as where I live, I had to let people know in St. Louis, man, I'm literally, I don't want to say I'm the first. I say I'm the soldier boy of veganism and making reading cool. I can't definitively prove that, but back in the day when I was on it on social media, from my age bracket, I do not remember many other people doing that. Select few. But I know I was one of the founding fathers of making reading cool for my age bracket. That's my age bracket. I know there's other people posting books and educating RP. I'm talking specifically for my age bracket on social media. When I was 18 or 19, posting books, talking about fasting, and going vegan. I do not recall a lot of other people in my age bracket doing that at the time. Like, it wasn't a lot of 19-year-olds talking about going vegan at the time when I was 19 talking about it, let alone posting books. just don't recall it. So I had to let people know. And the only reason I gotta let people know is because my original page where I had and was doing all this stuff got deleted. So I really don't have the evidence. I can't go back and say, look at this memory from 15 years ago when I was talking about this and that. They wiped me out of history before I even was able to make the history. They wiped me out, then eliminated all them pages. Like y'all, it's a lot of stuff, man, that y'all see on this YouTube. And I'm trying to tell you, if y'all would have been rocking with me way back then on Facebook primarily, y'all would know what I'm talking about. All that has been deleted. Like I literally, to Jabbar's point, I literally, people used to say, man, you got a cult following. Like I literally, like for real, man, it was deep. And then next thing you know, that joint was gone. They was trying to get me to upload my ID, all type of stuff, and I wasn't doing it. Then next thing you know, I just couldn't even log into that, couldn't get access to that page at all. That page just totally gone. Because I was even gonna upload the ID. I was like, man, you know what? I gotta keep this page. I was gonna upload. I tried to upload the ID. I was like, you know what? I got a lot of stuff going on this page. See, that was back when I ain't used my government name for nothing. I ain't like using my government name for anything. I was on that type of time. And they was like, upload your ID to prove your identity. And I was resisting that. And then it was like, all right, we're gonna shut this page down. And then I was resisting it. And I was like, all right, man, I'm just gonna upload this ID because I need to keep access to this page. And man, I tried to do it, and they was like, nope. Like, it literally was telling me I'm not who I say I am. Like literally, Facebook was telling me I'm not who I said I was. That was crazy work. So then I lost access to that page when I was on my Illuminati vibes. So I'm like, what? Like now I'm showing you this, like literally giving you the ID evidence, and that joint was like, nope, got to create another page. And the funny part about that, Facebook was on a weird type of time. They was trying to get people to use their government names. I resisted, uploaded the ID, and they told me I had to create another page. I created another page, and I still didn't use my government name. And that I was able to keep that page. And then that got deleted. But I was able to keep that page for some years. So you told me that I got to use my government name or I won't be able to be on this Facebook thing. Then I create another page. Don't use my government name. Matter of fact, use a name that's way worse. The name I was using. At least I had my last name in that one. And you allowed me to use that one. So they was playing those games, man. Hey, Chris, peace. What's happening? Oh yeah, for sure. Yeah, we empathy. I ain't got it. But that's part of my natural disposition. I don't really, you know what I'm saying? But I definitely ain't got it for that situation. Like I said, man, he knew what he signed up for. At the end of the day, Charlie Kirk knew what he signed up for. He knew he had people out here that hated his guts. And he knew every time he went out to speak, there was a possibility that could happen. Now, hey, should people get killed for what they say? I will never agree with that. But hey, that's the reality that we live in. That's the reality that we live in. Like I said, it's been happening to us for the longest, man. To the point now where you got folks on Facebook, and this is another thing to Jabbar's point. We can't speak how we truly feel so bad that even when you get on YouTube, you got these people who originally was on that black consciousness type of time, and then YouTube say, nah, you know what? We're gonna demonetize you, or you're not gonna make as much if you talking about this. Then all of a sudden, these people start talking about relationships, start talking about everything other than black consciousness, black history, black power, all that. So when YouTube allowed you to monetize or make money off of that, they was on it. Then when YouTube said no, then they shifted. So we can't even, like literally, man. Like we can't even talk. We can't even uplift our people. without social media telling us, nah, we ain't gonna let you do that. We can't even do that. We try to uplift our people, we get demonetized. We get threatened. Like, we can't even uplift our people. Like, listen to what I'm telling you. Like, Buddy was literally out here offending people, right? He was offending people, like, in their faces, like, offending people. Black people can just get on a platform and uplift our people, and that's a problem. Like, we don't even have to offend people. Now, some of us get on here and offend white folks, offend other people. Hey, whatever. But for the most part, we can get on here and literally just drop knowledge, and that's a threat. We don't have to offend anybody. We can just get on here, drop knowledge, wake our people up, give them proper information, give them correct information, and now society has labeled us a threat and we must go. Simply because we are recommending books to our people. Like, that's all it takes for a black person to get on the radar and lose his life. By educating our people. That's all it takes. All we got to do is educate, and now we a threat. We public enemy number one. So we don't even have to offend people. Like, that's how crazy our existence is. We don't have to offend anybody. Like, oh man, what do you get assassinated for? He was uplifting his people. He told his people that, hey, if they hit you, hit them back. Oh, that's enough to kill them. He ain't never say just go assassinate a bunch of white people randomly. Nah. If they hit you, hit them back. Oh, okay, we got to kill them. That's all it takes for us to get killed right there. That's it. The Lakers fan, yeah, like, I had, at first I was like, man, who is dude? Then when I saw him, I was like, oh yeah, I just never knew his name. Because I remember what he said when the George Floyd stuff happened. I just didn't know his name. So at first I was like, man, I ain't heard dude until now. And then when I had looked him up, I was like, oh, that's Buddy. I remembered him from the George Floyd situation when he made the remark about dude dying via an overdose, which the autopsy determined that was a lie. Hey, Bobby, appreciate that for sure. And hey, that's the sentiment, indifference. Basically, my life is gonna continue on unaffected. Hey, the Lakers fan, hey, hey, the kids, I can get that one. But shoot, the wife wasn't too far off from dude. Shoot, that wife ain't too far off from Buddy as far as what she be on. But we always gonna feel bad for the kids. Well, we always gonna feel for the kids in a situation like that. Even though, even though, even though the other side, like when I mentioned what I said on Facebook earlier, they never care or cared about our kids in situation like that. Now, of course, it's not speaking for all of them, but we've had situations to where our children have been unjustly assassinated. And instead of there being a lot of empathy and sympathy in the comment section, you will hear things like he shouldn't have been walking around in that neighborhood, shouldn't have had that hoodie on, shouldn't have been playing with that toy gun, should have complied. He looked like a threat. That was a big dude, big boy, all that type of stuff. Look how he was dressed. All of that. That's the energy that our children get when they get assassinated. So we collectively have hard time getting sympathy for our children when they get murdered, let alone us. Let alone us. You got to read the comment section when 12, 13-year-olds get unjustly killed and mugs making a mockery of it. Like, that's what we have had to read for years. Oh, God is for sure. That's why I'm like, hey, shoot, she on the same type of time. Like straight up. The same exact type of time. Definitely a reflection of dude, you know. So I'm like, hey, I don't know. I ain't about to reach out no helping hand to her neither. But again, that's me. Y'all do what y'all feel. Y'all believe what y'all want to believe. I don't be caring, man. I don't be caring. Like I say, we got enough things we gotta deal with. Matter of fact, this is how they do us, right? This is like, let's look at the reality here. This is white on white crime, fam. So we really need to mind our business, to be honest with you. You know, this is white on white crime. This is white thug activity. We ought to let them have that one. Them savages out here, man. It's white on white crime. White on white crime. We gotta let them have this one, man. It's white on white crime. You know, we just gonna see our way on up out of this conversation. And thugs over there in the white community going crazy. White on white crime is crazy. Savages. Uncivilized savages over there, I tell you, on that side of town, man. Like for real, this legitimately ain't really got nothing to do with us. And you know what's crazy? It was a threat on the HBCUs. Like white folks can't even believe that this is white on white. To the point where the HBCUs gotta be on lockdown. We ain't did nothing. We ain't do nothing to that. First of all, we used to white men having that type of opinion. You know what I'm saying? We used to white dudes talking like that. We used to it, fam. We ain't about if we was gonna kill dude over that, we would have been killing a lot of other people. This world would be a lot different if what he was on was gonna spark us to start killing folk. We've been dealing with that. What he's saying is like we done heard way worse. So best believe this was what he was on wasn't enough for us to be like, boom, assassinate. Come on, fam. Come on. Y'all like seriously. That what that if we assassinated him for what he was saying, oh no, we should have been going to war then. So like they couldn't even fathom that. I'm like, HBCUs on lockdown for what? We ain't do nothing. We just included because of our responses. But man, we didn't. This wasn't black on white. Wasn't black on white. This was white on white, fam. White on white crime. This is what this is. This is what this was. White people, you all need to do better in y'all communities. Y'all got uncivilized savages, and they're young folk. And this is what I told somebody. I said Charlie Kirk got killed by. I said YNs don't just come in black form. You got white YNs, and he got killed by a white YN. Bro, the YNs got him in the white community. You got YNs in the white community. White folks, y'all need to do better. Y'all need to tame y'all YNs in y'all community. Or YCs. Wherever y'all want to call them. Y'all need to do better. Y'all got some crime going on in y'all community, and y'all need to get to the bottom of it. Oh yeah, super predators. And you know who brought that back to light? Good old Hillary. And we was out here trying to push everybody to vote for Hillary. Hillary brought super predator back to life. Her and Bill Clinton. Matter of fact, her and Bill was on that super predator vibe. Matter of fact, Bill, both of them really. But yeah, Bill Clinton, first black president. No, he was not. Bill ain't like us neither. You know, but that super predator turn, hey, yeah. Look up super predator Bill Hillary Clinton and watch what comes up if you can find it online. But they might have it. Yeah, China, we got to pay for not caring. Like somehow it's still our fault. And I saw some. I don't know if this can be confirmed, but I saw that the YN or the YC that shot dude was living with a transgender partner. I don't know if that's been confirmed yet, but I saw that. And you know what I'm saying? Like, and that was his biggest threat. I was like, boy, you ain't got to worry about us. He started talking about them trans and all them. Boy, that's a population. They gonna come after you. They gonna come on up. They gonna come on up after you, man. Like we was chilling. We ain't anybody worried. But black folks wasn't worried about Charlie Kirk to where we felt like we just had to kill him. And we wasn't worried about dude like that. We just disagree with what he said, but we ain't looking at it like, man, we gotta take him out. Gotta take him out. Like, man, we ain't, like I said, most of us didn't even know who dude was until this time, or we forgot. Like I forgot who dude was. So best believe we wasn't really tripping off dude to the point we like literally seeing him as a threat to our existence to where we gotta kill him. Like that was never our sentiment. That was never our view, our outlook. Yes, I saw that. I saw the family said they was Trump supporting family. I saw that. Yep, I was reading all that. I gotta tap back in and read some more, but yeah, I saw that. Yeah, but yeah, he definitely manifested his own demise, man. Like they say we do, you know. And you know, y'all know what he said, about the gun laws. I mean, hey, hey, buddy. That's all I got to say. Y'all know his views on that was. I was watching one of his little debates on that one. I mean, you pretty much feel like everybody, yeah, you got the right to bear arms there. You got shot by your own kind that was exercising their right to bear the arms. That didn't like something you said, buddy. Like I said, dude, he had to. If dude didn't accept and understand those risks that came with that, he's delusional. That's almost like me going to speak, and saying some of the things I stand for, and I'm going in certain places, and I'm not just thinking anything can happen to me. I'll never move like that. Man, I will have people everywhere. I'm gonna have people on top of every building you can think of if I'm speaking in certain places. If I'm coming with a certain message, because I already know. So I'm never about to be just letting my guard down if I'm out here in public speaking a certain type of message. And I'm literally going to places with the intent to debate the folks and kind of rile them up. Nah, buddy. We about to be moving way smarter than that. We're gonna be moving smarter. Now, again, you can move as smart as you want. Stuff still can happen, but I'm having people everywhere, man. Like I know good and well, like if I'm outside like that, one of the first things I'm thinking about is there could be somebody on the roof. Now that's the first thing I'm thinking about. I didn't watch too many movies, man. They're my type of movies. First thing I'm thinking if I'm out in public speaking, one of the first things I'm saying, like if somebody was gonna take me out, the first place I'm thinking that they're gonna come from is they're gonna be up on the roof. So I'm like, hey man, we need to make sure we got eyes up there. That's one of the first things I'm thinking. And then I'm gonna deal with crowd control. But first place I'm thinking roof. Like that's what I'm on. Man, Trump is that's a funny guy. Like that's all I'm gonna say about dude. It's a funny guy. Man, but y'all, man, with that being said, man, I done made my little points for the day, man. I gotta go back into this shell, man, and do some studying, get some work done. I ain't lying, boy. Going back to school as an unk, that's different than going to school when you're young, man. Younger. Unk mode is hard, boy. I'm in school, not struggling academically, but I be trying to read all these books, man, be falling asleep. It's crazy work, man. But I'm getting the work done, man. But it's just a lot of work. But I'm doing this so I can bring it home to my community, man. I'm trying to get this counseling credential so I can bring it to my community, help my people. That's why I'm doing it. You know, specifically the brothers, but you know, the sisters gonna benefit from it as well. You know, when I get the mental right of the brothers, sisters gonna benefit. That's how we repair the disconnect between the brothers and the sisters, man. But somebody got to look out for the mental of the black man, man. It's got to be another brother. So I'm doing it. I'm making this sacrifice. I'm going through it so I can be of service to the brothers and this mental health thing, man, because we dealing with it, you know. So give me about 2.5 years, man, when I finish with this schooling and I get my credentials, man, get my licenses and all that. And we about to change. I'm gonna change the game up. But until then, man, it's hard for me to be active on this thing. I'm trying to work out a little schedule, man, but I be always having to do some work, let alone training my folks, you know. But I'm making it work. Again, we don't make no excuses. We ain't crying about it. I signed up for it, so I'm gonna get it done. You know, but man, I appreciate y'all, man. Hey, it's always love, man, tapping in with y'all and chopping it up with you all. Like I say, even the people that disagree, man, there is no hostile energy. You disagree with me, that's cool, man. Matter of fact, I'll fool with the folks that disagree with me, man. That sharp is my sword. So don't never take offense. I mean, if you do, then that's just you. But never take offense, man. If I get riled up when you come in here disagreeing with me, man, that's just my energy. It's passion behind what I stand for. But it's always love and respect, unless you on the other side and you got malicious intent. Then hold on, now we gonna put the gloves on, you know. But other than that, nah, man, it ain't never no harm, man. It sharpens the sword, and I welcome disagreements. You know what I mean? But man, I appreciate y'all, man. I'm gonna let y'all get back to enjoying the rest of y'all weekend, man. I'm gonna tap in when I tap in. But hey, y'all be easy out here. I'm out. Peace.